Hello, LegendAqua here, back for my seasonal favorite animes lists. And this time, obviously, it's spring 2024, and, well, same old trends. But we'll get to that when we get to that. First up is the train one, I believe, and this is by date. Yes, it is. Okay. Train to the End of the World. This one, like, literally, the journey and actually the destination was actually pretty good to this entire anime. And basically, it's a bunch of ragtag misfits trying to find their friend, and let's just say their friend pressed a button and basically like warped the world as it is, and these four on the poster obviously are trying to find her. And the journey is crazy to say the least. It feels like a hot pot kind of anime where there were just a bunch of genres coming together throughout the journey on the train, and then obviously the spoilers for the final destination and everything. But this one was actually fairly good in my opinion. Like, I believe this was an original. Yeah, it's an original anime. I thought so. What did I think about it? Well, to say the least, yeah, hot pot kind of anime, character development as well, because we get to know the four as well as technically five in all of this. Favorite character, in my opinion, although Nao Taiyama was one of my draws in, typical of me, in my opinion, it's actually between Akira and Raimi for me. Like, she's the book smart, no nonsense type, while Raimi's basically the Gato type. Yeah. I think it might be Akira though for me, for favorite character. I won't go into too much spoilers for this, but hot pot anime, good character development, good journey, and good destination, kind of plot anime. I would probably give this. It's not great, I'll say. So it's definitely not a 9. I'll give it a 7. 7's good. God's Game We Play. Okay, so this was almost on my cutting block, but I did manage to watch it. Let's just say there was a draw to get me in. That would have been, where are you? Where is she? Although she didn't show up that much, it would have to have been... Where is she? Miranda. Miranda's the one that got me into it. Although she didn't show up much, she was basically, the supervisor for the main characters. But yeah, she got me in. I mean, Koshimizu also helped. But for God's Game We Play, it feels like a spiritual successor to No Game No Life, but where the gods actively participate, in a sense. And it's a pseudo-harem at the same time, because he basically gains a harem of players to help him defeat God's game. And not to mention, some gods basically go into his party as well. That's kind of what I call a pseudo-harem, to be honest. It's like a pseudo-harem gaming kind of anime. Is the best way I can say it. There is a reason why he's trying to play these games, but obviously it's kind of a spoiler. But at the same time, there's a reason why, and they keep hinting it's to do with her as well, very early on. But considering this is only a 12-episode anime, and between these two, Faye and Alicia, we don't get much in terms of it, because we go more into the God's Game. It's always hinted at, so I'm thinking it's also, it's a read the manga kind of ending. Whether this will actually get a second season, I actually don't know. We do not know, okay? For the most part, I enjoyed it. For the most part, I did enjoy it. Miranda did definitely get me in. But I think overall, my favorite character kinda was Nell and Leo Leisha, to be honest. It's probably these two that got me in. And just, yeah, I like them. Yeah, I would give this probably a good 8. It's fairly decent. If you liked No Game No Life, you're gonna like this. Although some of the parameters compared to this and No Game No Life is obviously a little bit different, but if you still like it, yeah. Okami Hollow Spice and Wolf. Spice and Wolf's remake. It is, yeah, as you can see, it's a two-cour. I have heard couple of things about this, in a sense, that, some people were criticizing the remake of being less detailed compared to, this one. I do agree, but at the same time, it does feel like from what, me watching Spice and Wolf, the original one, was like a couple of years ago. I still remember, obviously, since it's a remake, it's trying to redo some of the plot lines. And as a remake, it's still not bad. The animation can get a little bit shoddy at times. I did actually kind of realize that a little bit, but for the most part, it's like from what the plot beats are giving me, it is still a bit nostalgic for me. Obviously, it's been a couple of years since I watched the first original, but for the first half, it's still good. I will say that this is done by Passion, who has pretty much, in my opinion, has gained a little bit of infamy on trying to remake all of these past nostalgic animes and bring it to a remake status and everything, because they did Higurashi, which they continued that. I can't say much beyond that because obviously only the first cour has happened, so I can't say much. Except I do see both sides. Because sometimes the animation does feel a little bit shoddy, but other times they do actually, polish it up. Sometimes. Not every time. Sometimes. So I'm gonna give this remake a little bit of slack and a little bit of grace and saying I see both sides. So we will see by the, finale. And yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. That's the best I can say it. I edited it. Okay, next up. I didn't watch it. Bad timing. I could not have enough time to watch this one, so I can't say much about it. Yuru Camp Season 3, more comf. And as a die-hard Yuru Camp fan, yeah, Season 3, absolutely gold. It's just comedy gold. And just, if you, should I give it a 9? What did I give the previous seasons? Previous seasons, another 9. Okay, I'm getting it a 10. Because it's in my opinion, it's one of the pinnacle slice of life animes. I love all the characters. Just I'm so biased towards that, but at the same time, I can't really say much beyond that because I do love this series. It's just it is seriously one of those comfort food kind of animes that you need to watch if you don't want, all the intense, serious plot lines from other animes. This is it, so you can have a little bit of downtime. And this was basically it for me for this season as well. Just a comfort food anime. Really enjoy the characters. I love all the characters. And just a huge amount of slice of life comf. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Obviously, favorite character for me is, yeah, no brainer. Absolute no brainer. Yeah, can't believe it. First 10, and it's a slice of life. Re-zombie, re-monster. Guess what? I did not have time to watch this one, and I heard a lot of bad things about it. So, in my opinion, both the timing of its release and me not having enough time to watch this one was actually kind of a blessing. Mahoka, season 3. Okay, first things first, it's getting a movie, by the way. Yeah, it's getting a sequel movie. It's that popular, and in my opinion, it's that, like, they're confident enough, because who's making this? 8-Bit's making this. 8-Bit made this, and I believe the movie is also done by 8-Bit. No announcements yet, but they're probably going to be... It's probably going to be 8-Bit again. Yeah, playing to watch. So, what do I think about the season 3 and everything? I won't go into too much spoilers, obviously, but let me just see the prequel rating for this one. 7. I did not like this. Oh, I was kind of divisive about season 2, wasn't I? I think season 3, I can give it a bit of slack. It's actually pretty good. Because they've kind of realized, like my biggest gripe, and I believe everybody's biggest gripe, is about Tatsuya. Because he's such an OP, what I call a magic Jesus type character. And he is so OP that he can just vaporize anybody out of existence and everything. But for season 3, at least they've actually reined in his OP-ness in a sense, because I think they finally realized they need to kind of rein it in a little bit. Because if he's so OP and he's an almighty janitor and everything, we can't really relate to him if that's the case, unless you want that power trip fantasy. But a lot of people dislike him for that. But this season actually did, like, rein him in. Finally, they reined him in and gave him a little bit of humanity, in a sense. Finally. As a consequence, however, because this is a new year for Mahoka's school year in universe, a lot of alumni has moved on, but at least they do have a bit of screen time. I do believe a lot of people did not like that Mizuki. Mizuki's actually a Kohai, isn't she? It's Mayumi. Mayumi basically graduated along with her student council, so we don't get to see much of the student council except Mayumi. She does have some plot relevance, and the reason I'm saying this is because Mayumi is my favorite character in this series. Yup. Not Miyuki. I'm a Mayumi fan. But yeah, season 3 did actually give her a bit of screen time, even though she graduated and everything. A lot of plot relevance, so I actually did like that as a result. Miyuki actually got a little bit more annoying this season. Although in some plot points, she did become the voice of reason. But at the same time, I do understand why a lot of people found her annoying. Maybe not in this season for me, not as much, but in general, I do understand why people don't like her. Because she hogs the screen time for more side characters that are more favorable. It's similar to me as to why I like Mayumi and why she got kind of shafted, but she got a little bit of plot relevance this season at the very least. That's kind of why I'm giving this season a bit of grace. I'm giving it 8 to be generous. Because I still overall liked it. They reined in Tatsuya. They didn't rein in Miyuki as much, but at least, even though Mayumi graduated, she did get a lot of plot relevance. Also, I did actually realize this, but one of the minor characters who I actually liked also got a bit more screen time this season. That would have been Kyoka. I wonder why I like her as well. But yeah, I'm being lenient. I'll give it an 8. Nijio's second season. This is typical for the, short anime for Nijisaki. What did I give the prequel? There's not much to say about this one. It's more the same for if you liked this, short anime for the Love Live Nijisaki series. It's gonna be the same. I give it an 8. Let's give it the same score. So there's not much to really talk about for this one. Tensai's third season, and this is more of the same, to be honest. More character misunderstandings that cause almost a civil war and Tempest, as well as more political alliances and allies that pretty much happened. Yes, this is a two-cour. This is another two-cour. I believe that's episode 13. No, I think it's episode 12. And I pressed the wrong button. Episode 12. So yeah, more of the same. It's still going on. I actually thought this was actually a one-cour, but it's a two-cour. But if you like Tensai, and if you like, basically Rimuru kingdom getting more political alliances and power, well, yeah, if you've watched the first 2 seasons, the third one is a no-brainer to continue. I won't go into detail, but more of the same isn't as good as it is. I have seen some criticism in saying that because it's more or less the same, but with different characters, and therefore Rimuru is still, Rimuru's kingdom is just growing more in power as a result, just through like commerce or whatever. I do see the criticism as to why people are saying because it's more of the same, it's the same plot beats from a different season. I do understand that because it's exactly what's happening. High Speed Atoll. Guess what? I only watched 1 episode. And I heard this is rather infamous for the wrong reasons, mainly in animation. It's CGI. It's a bad thing. Yeah. I think I dodged another bullet, to be honest. I only watched 1 episode. I believe, from the rumors I've heard, this is basically a vehicle for, 2 characters. I believe Fuka Izumi and who was it? I think it's Shiori Izawa. I definitely know it's her. I definitely know it's Fuka. But, was it Shiori as well? Okay, I'll just say it's Fuka Izumi. Fuka Izumi, in real life, is actually going into the racing scene. In real life, I'm not joking. I think it's Fuka Izumi. It's one of these cast members. So this is basically a vehicle for them to say, hey, even though I'm a voice actor, voicing a character who's also doing the same thing as I'm going to do in real life, which is, racing. Yeah, this is a vehicle for me to say that and openly state it, in a sense. It's a rumor I've heard about, but I forgot which of the voice actors it was. So yeah, I didn't actually watch High Speed Atoll. Girls Band Cry came at a wrong time, as in my schedule was pretty bad, so I did not have time to watch this one either. It came at such a erratic time, I couldn't watch it properly, so another miss. Another miss. Okay. Let's talk Idolmaster Shining Colors. So, as a huge Idolmaster fan, who's been basically, let's just say, playing Derisute's mobile game for like 10 years plus. I'm not joking, 10 years plus. Shiny Colors, new installment, a different another, well, not a franchise, another agency that's completely different from Derisute, the OGs in Mirashita. It's a new one. Shiny Colors is extremely popular, like as a mobile game as well. And this is probably the first Idolmaster in which I could not play its games. As in, I could play it, I just have one big gripe about it. And that is, I don't like its gameplay. I do not like Shiny Colors' gameplay. And yes, I know Shiny Colors' gameplay is exactly the same as Uma Musume. Guess what? I don't like Uma Musume's gameplay either. But with that tangent, yes, this is probably my first Idolmasters installment in which I have not played its games before watching the anime, so this is me coming in basically blind. I have a few gripes about this. I have a few gripes about this anime. And as to why, like, I don't do any weekly updates about this anime, that's basically the reason why. So what's my biggest gripe about this? I feel like there's a disconnect between the producer and his idols. I don't know why, but it feels like there's a disconnect. Like, I've never felt that kind of disconnect before from like the OG, Mirashita, U149, and Derisute's 2 seasons. This is the first time I actually felt it. I don't know what the elements of the cause is, whether it's basically the producer is basically, yes, I know he's a cheerleader in a sense, trying to get these idols to be famous and everything with their singing, but it feels like the fact that they're, one, already in groups, and two, we don't get much individualistic focus on this huge cast. I believe it's like 20 characters. And though I do I do have some favorites in Shiny Colors. Like, I like Natsuha, I like Chiyuki, I like Sakuya and Hiyori. Actually, not Hiyori. Renze and Hiyori. Like, I like all of these characters, but in the anime, I didn't see much individual likeness towards them as much. Obviously, there's a bit of character development and character conflict, namely Hiyori to Mano. Again, the cool representative has beef with the cute representative, although in this case, it's kind of funny that it's Hiyori to Mano when it should be Hiyori to Meguru. But anyways, although I do like a lot of these characters, like from me researching them ages back, this was after after me trying the games, so instead I just like researched them in terms of characters and just tried to find who my favorite character was. Obviously it's Natsuha. It's Natsuha that's first place. Anyways, I don't know. It just feels like there's a disconnect, maybe because of the individual focus that's basically gone, and instead it's more of the group focus, depending on which group you like. And at the same time, because there's like 4 groups that the producer has to juggle, there's a disconnect towards, is the producer just a cheerleader for any one of the groups, and therefore it's just a group trying to band together through camaraderie, and then just it's them that's the main driving force, not the producer, them, that's the main driving force as to why they got famous. I do also feel a tinge of rushness a little bit, even though this is getting a second season. So, again, is it just me? Is it just me that I feel this weird disconnect from this first season as to why, like, although I like these characters, I felt a huge disconnect between its characters and the story progression. And the element as to why, it's those stated it's the stuff that I stated before. So I don't know. This season, I don't know. I don't know why I had this huge disconnect towards this series. I felt halfway bored at the same time, and Idolmaster anime series should not do that at the same time. Especially for me, since I'm a diehard Idolmaster fan, so I don't know what happened. Overall, I'm giving it a 7. Let's just hope the second season actually, hooks me properly. But this first season, in my opinion, was a bad scope for me. I don't know why there's a disconnect towards me. I really don't. So I'm giving it a 7. I really do hope that the second season does do a little bit better. I really hope so. Not to mention more characters, some of which I actually do like as well. So I hope something happens instead of the first season playing by the books. I also believe that's also a thing as well. It's a factor as to why I just felt a huge disconnect, just felt bored at the same time. Yeah. This is weird coming from me. Seriously, this is weird coming from me since I'm a huge Idolmaster fan. I don't know why. I don't know why I feel about this anime this way. That just, I don't know. I really don't know. This is, in my opinion, Shining Colors is the biggest question mark for me for this entire season. I don't know why. I'm going to leave it as that. Fable. I watched one episode. Yeah, it's another one of those. I do hear this is good, but timing. I did watch one episode, but after that, it came at a bad time. At least it's a 2-cur, so if it does get better, I might just try it. But yeah, I did not have enough time to watch this one. And, Go Loser Ranger, from the same author as Quintuplets, oddly enough. And he's doing basically The Boys, but with Power Rangers. Yup, and it's as crazy as it seems. And I'm already giving this a huge mark. It's a good one. Because this one just takes so many turns. It is like this entire world that does like D-class Mook is trying to be like a boss monster and trying to overthrow basically the equivalent of Power Rangers / Sentai is actually crazy. Like, this series is very interesting. It doesn't play by the books, and it's as dark as it can get as well. This is from the same person as the Quintuplets author. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Favorite character? Yeah. I'm not surprised why I like her. Not to mention, there's something up about her. Seriously, there's something up about her. I don't know, obviously they're hinting at why, but yeah, there's something about her. Not to mention, yeah, she makes a pact with the D-class Mook guy / main character. And she wants, let's say, I'm just going to highlight this and just be done with it. But yeah, I'm giving it a high mark. You need to watch this. It's such a subversion. But it's a subversion done right, and it plays and it executes it well. So yeah, definitely. If you seriously want to watch what my tagline was, which is a lot of people say about this series, which is The Boys but with Power Rangers / Sentai, this is it. Oh, and this one. Okay, jellyfish can't swim in the night. This series is good. Like, seriously, this series is so good. I might give it a 10 as well, to be honest. Because, in a sense, this is a really mature anime. Because it is basically talking about trauma, in a sense. It's also talking about the, like, idol agency at the same time, and it is a bit like Oshi no Ko, which is also kind of ironic because one of the main characters is Ri Takahashi. But yeah, this series, I'm not going into much detail because I think you just need to watch it. Seriously, Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night is so good. It's so mature about what it's trying to represent, about, in a sense, freedom, about family, about career. It does all those things in a subtle way with this ragtag bunch of misfits trying to make it. It's actually pretty good. Oh, 7.88? That needs to be at least an 8.5. This series is so good. This series is... Nah, I'm gonna call this one underrated. That should be at least an 8.5. Come on. This series is so good. Blue Archive. Okay, so if Shiny Colors was obviously a mobile game turned anime adaptation that I have not played, this is basically one I have. It's another one that I have. I would give it an easy, it's 8 or 9. I think I'll give it, what should I do? Fine, I'll give it a 9. It's actually pretty good. So, considering I skip stories for a lot of mobile games, Blue Archive, the main draw as to why I got in, she is not in this anime. But, this does give me a proper scope as to what Blue Archive is actually properly about, because again, I skip stories or mobile games like this. But, it's still good for what it is. And remember, this is, like, its themes and everything, it's very South Korean-ish. You'll know why I'm actually saying this, because read the synopsis if you are. But yeah, Blue Archive is very good in terms of anime adaptations. Even though I skip story, yes, I know that, but in terms of anime plot progression, it's actually pretty good. If I have to say favorite character from the anime at least, yeah, come on. As well as Aru. Yeah, these two, in my opinion, favorite characters from the anime. I do have a favorite from the game, though. I think everybody knows who that might be because I'm typing it right now. Yeah, like I was hoping that the cleaning and clearing at least got a cameo, but they didn't. But at the very least, in terms of anime plot progressions, I still enjoyed it. There was a lot of mystery as well, so yeah. Bummer that Karen and Asuna didn't get in. I wanted them to at least make a cameo. Hibiki Euphonium, I did not have time. I want to, but at the same time, I was also kind of stuck with its previous smaller arc that I had to get through. Its movie. I didn't have time to watch that either, so yeah, this one's in the back burner for me. And the thing is, for this series, I do have a favorite character as well. And I do want to get back into this because of her. Unnamed Memory. Also another one I could not have time to watch. I want to, but I heard this is good. So this one also might be a rain check for me as well. Seiyu Radio. Okay, so obviously I'm a huge Seiyu buff, a JP to be more precise, a JP Seiyu buff. And this one is basically pointing the finger at me. in a sense. Not the third finger, but it is pointing the finger at me and basically criticizing, in a sense, obviously Seiyu fans like me, in a good and a bad light. It's doing both. So it knows its target audience, and I still enjoyed it. And funny thing is that these two actually do have a bit of Yuri tension. They're rivals, but at the same time, if you know what I mean, you know. But yeah, there's a bit of Yuri tension with this. I will give this a good 8. It's a good 8. Basically, it is like how Shirobako looks at, anime, how anime is made. This one is more looking at the Seiyu agency. I know there was 2 other animes that actually focused on this. Girlish Number and Soroga Seiyu also looked into this. This one's more on the dramatic side, I'll say. So if you liked, say, Girlish Number, also for its drama, but it's more comedic in a sense, this one is more on its drama angle bent. So I think that's what I'll say about it. Not to mention it's being not subversive, but it's being realistic in a sense. Like, not completely realistic, but realistic in a sense about seiyus and what people think about them. It's that kind of angle and dramatic angle as to what this show is basically about. If you like seiyus in a sense, and you're a Seiyu fan like me, you'll probably get a kick out of this one. This one, I did not have time. I only watched 1 episode, unfortunately. I might rain check this one when I have time, but we will see. Only got to watch 1 episode. Again, just bad timing. Konosuba, and oh my god, Konosuba's 3rd season, masterpiece. Because, okay, so the first 2 seasons was more or less focusing on Aqua and Kazuma. Its movie and its spin-off was actually focusing more on Megumin, obviously. This 3rd season is entirely dedicated to Darkness, and would you believe it or not, Darkness isn't exactly I'm not gonna say least favorite character, but she's still up there because obviously I love the entire Konosuba cast. But Darkness for me was about at 4th place for me in terms of favorite characters, outbeaten by Wiz, Megumin, and Aqua. This season kind of changed that. At least Darkness is now my top 3rd. She's in my top 3 in a sense because of this season. Because this season entirely dedicated towards her. There was a lot of plot beats from previous seasons that actually worked into why Darkness did what she had to in this season. Not to mention Aya Kayano, which is Darkness's voice actor, went all out for this season. She was basically the best character in this season. No questions asked. She is the focus for the season, and she is probably the main character for this season, and probably the best character as well for this season. Although yes, in my opinion, for me at least, I still like Megumin as first. Aqua and now Darkness is probably fighting at it, and Wiz is probably 4th place for me because she did not get much screen time this season, but that's a consolation prize I'll take for Darkness pretty much having center stage, and I absolutely love Darkness as well now for this season. This season does so much justice for Darkness, especially for a Konosuba fan that more or less thought Darkness's weird kink was just that. So I just basically glanced over her. Now yeah, I can actually see that Darkness is a main player, is a main character, and Aya Kayano, in my opinion, just absolutely nailed Darkness in this season. So good. So good. I have to give it a 10. I have to give it a 10 for that. If this gets a 4th season, I'm not going to be surprised. It is so good. It is so good. And speaking of Konosuba, Date Alive 5. Guess what? It's the finale. It's the finale. And I can't believe I actually lasted this long towards Date Alive. It kind of makes sense because there's a main reason. Kurumi, best girl. Seriously, best girl. I think everybody knows she's best girl. But at the same time, I did also... My second best character, what to me, was Origami. And yeah, Season 5, this is basically the finale. It's the finale. And yeah, this is one of the really nostalgic harem animes that basically turned to a battle harem. And it's crazy that it went this long and like shifted towards so many anime companies and everything. But it finally got there. 5 seasons and a spin-off. And I believe a spin-off also got a movie. I believe. Focusing on Kurumi. But I know I'm talking about all of this and everything. But just... like, obviously, it has some problems. Mainly because of its overuse of CGI. But it had to be kind of used for its finale. But we did finally get some revelations, some mysteries finally solved, and again, this is technically the finale of Date Alive. So yeah, they kind of had to go all out, even though they had to use CGI. But it's like huge revelations, it's mystery being solved and everything. I understand it, and it just goes full circle towards this. And as a Date Alive fan, I kind of understand. I kind of actually have to give it a 9. Like, this is maybe, like, it's maybe because I lasted this long, but at the same time, just Date Alive 5. Unexpected surprise at the same time, especially in surprises. Although, in a sense, you would have probably got some hints towards it, but yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. If you're a Date Alive fan, you know why I'm talking about this. Viral hit. I did not have time. Kaiju. I did not have time, although I heard this one's pretty good. It's basically Attack on Titan, but with monsters, is the best way you can say it. But I did not have time to watch this one. Same goes for you, Kuretsusuji Public School Arc. I did not have time. The weekend, I believe this was released in the weekends. It is so jam-packed. I could not fit this in. You, however, I could. However, this is the opposite because this got delayed. It's not finished. I believe it's at episode 9. But, actually not episode 9, it's episode 10, isn't it? But episode 11 and 12 is in indefinite hiatus, so it's not finished. But it's your typical Yuri bait, is all I'm going to say. Although, its main characters, Yuri, Himari, and Aki, they remind me of a trio from another anime, Yahari, because seriously, Yuri is basically Yukino, Himari is basically Yui, and Aki is basically Iroha from Yahari. I'm being serious, because they have basically the same design in a sense. But yeah, this series is on indefinite hiatus for its last 2 episodes, so I really can't say much about it besides its typical Yuri bait. I do like it, but yeah, it's an indefinite hiatus, so I don't know what to say about it. And is this the last one? No, it's not. Boku no Hero Academia. I had to rain check this one. Again, it's another I did not have time. I did not have time. Thankfully, it's a 2-cour at 21 episodes, so I might catch up at some point, but yeah, it's bad timing. It's bad timing because this came out at the same time as Kimetsu no Yaiba, which I had to slot it in. I had to. Although I heard this is basically a training arc, and not much happened. Although technically some things did happen, but yeah, this season made us basically get to know the Hashiras a little bit better, finally, as well as its climax. The, Muzan finally makes his move in a sense. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that because I believe it's I'm gonna call its final arc, but I'm not too sure its final arc is getting a movie trilogy. And that's gonna take some time. So we will see what happens, but the training arc is exactly what you think it is. Though, if you do like some of the Hashiras, you will get a little bit of character development. Minus Mitsuru and Shinobu. Yeah, those two don't get much character development or screen time. At all. At best, Mitsuru gets about 5 minutes screen time and then that's it. This entire season. I'm not joking. Shinobu actually got more screen time. Barely. It's the rest. It's the rest of the Hashiras. And if it's any of them that you like, yeah, you'll get a lot of screen time with them this season. Overall, what did I think about it? I will give it... it's a training arc, but some things did come up. I'll be a little bit generous. I'll give it a 7. And I think that is... Oh, no. Dungeon Meshi finally finished. I believe this is getting a second season. I'll give it a good... I'll actually give this a good... 8 or 9. What should I give it? I think I'll give it a 8 because I know it can do better. I know it can do better. And the thing is, even though this is getting a second season, funnily enough, I actually kind of... I know I'm not... I don't watch dubs as much, but let's just say its release, in a sense, kind of made me go into its dub and stay there for a while. Stay there, halfway through. Because of that, yeah, I actually did start watching the dub. It's actually the dub's actually decent halfway through. Although, as a consequence for me changing languages from JP to EN, yeah, I sacrificed Sari Hayami to actually watch the dub, in a sense, but Marcellus's dub voice actor was actually still pretty good. Not to mention Marcellus basically became my favorite character at the same time. Marcellus is Emily Rude. Yeah, she's actually pretty good. She's actually pretty good. I'll give her that. So yeah, Dungeon Meshi's getting a second season. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised because they did not complete their main goal for this for why they went to the dungeon in the first place. So yeah, I'll give it an 8. I want to give it a 9, but I believe its second season can actually do better. So yeah. Anything else? Nope. So that is it. So for this season, I believe winners are basically let's see Konosuba's third season, in my opinion, one of the best comedies for this season. Jellyfish Can't Swim at Night is probably the best drama / mature anime that has to do with idols at the same time. I'll give Sentai its run as well, because Sentai was also pretty good. It did kind of hook me in as well. It's fine. Yuru Camp is probably best slice of life for this season. Seriously, watch Yuru Camp. And the stinkers for this season are Idolmaster. It's Idolmaster, for the ones that I've fully watched anyways. Because I've heard much worse things about High Speed Atoll, because High Speed Atoll, from what I've heard, is pretty bad from what I've heard. But since I haven't watched it, I can't say much about it. Shiny Colors is a stinker. And anything else that's a stinker for me that I thought about? No, actually. Wow. Idolmaster being a stinker for this season. For any season. Yeah, that's big coming from me. So, what do you think about this spring 2024? What were your favorites? And what were your stinkers? Let me know. And that will be it. With that, LA out.